Yep, we got audio. All right, family, what's going on? I appreciate y'all coming in, hanging out with your boy. Let me see here. Let me check out and see who I got in this chat real quick. What's going on, T United? What's going on, CCS Legacy? All right, all right. What's going on, D Carroll? We got Yoshi in the building. What's going on, Cryptus? We got Profit Maker. What's going on, Randy? We got Wilson in the building. My guy, Cagney. What's good? Let me tell y'all something about Cagney, all right? I'm hanging out in the middle of the restaurant. I've been seeing this dude all day long. Didn't know it was him. I'm in the middle of the restaurant. He's like, it's me. I'm Cagney. I'm like, bro, you got to lead with this. And he shook my hand like twice before. I was like, man, I really appreciate you. He never even said his name. And I'm just smiling and nodding like, oh, yeah, that's what's up. You cool. Like, nope, whole time is Cagney. So what's up, bro? Glad to have you in the chat, man. My Toronto family came on, show some love. We got Yuki in the family. Got my Japanese family building. Yuki, I appreciate you. We were just talking about you earlier, like the whole DCX team was talking about you earlier. We definitely appreciate all that you do for the Japan community. So definitely much love out that goes out to you, Yuki. What's going on, Clips? What's up, Stormchild? We got Clark in the building. Let's see here. We got that Crypto Drip, though. Who changed their name to that Crypto Drip, though? Imagine you made me say it like that, because it literally is all one word. It's like a pimp named Slickback. All right, I get it. What's going on, Peasy? Got United in the building. We got Mike Vasquez in the building. He gonna say something in the chat and get me in trouble again. All right. let me go ahead and get it started. All right, what's going on, Just Too Easy? All right. Let me shrink my big mug down and jump right into some sauce. All right, y'all. So listen, today is gonna be one of those days where I keep things very simplistic, like you get a check every month. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and refresh old CoinGecko.com, and we're gonna go ahead and see Bitcoin is at $23,000, Ethereum's hanging out around 1,600, Tether at 99 cents. We got BNB hanging out at 300, and USD coin hanging out at 99 cents. Stablecoin is giving us a little bit of fluctuation. XRP is still doing its thing. Pretty much where we left it earlier today. Top performers for the day. Yep, NIM, Stack, Singularity Net, Synthetics, Frax, Arweave, and Immutable X. So yeah, everything's pretty much looking like where we left it. Nothing too wild is happening in the mean and in between. All right, y'all. Great session. Have a great night. We're out of here tonight. All right. It's been real. I'm messing with y'all. I'm back. Like, bro, straight. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the sauce. Let me go ahead and get this bad boy set up here. So let me show you guys what's going on. I'm mad y'all laugh. Don't laugh at me, because y'all gonna just keep pouring gas on the fire. I'm gonna act silly tonight. All right, so don't go. Keep your composure. You know what I'm talking to. All right, so let's see here. Just don't do us like that, Kurt. Sheesh. Like, you know I wouldn't do y'all like that. Like 8 minutes in, I'm like, all right, God bless you, good night. Hit the Russell Simmons on you. All right, y'all. So y'all know we be in here goofing off. All right, so right now, Bitcoin is pretty much doing the same old. Now, we talked about this a little bit earlier when me and Mike were on the session. I honestly believe right now that we're breaking out and we're making new structure highs. This is a very positive sign for the crypto markets, because we are getting that bullish momentum we've been waiting for. Obviously, we hadn't had a relief rally since the market's been dropping since, 2 years ago, like 2021. So now we're finally seeing some growth. It's a great sign, but is it the end all be all? Are we going to just break out and run and go right to 50K? Not so much. All right. So part of what I want to do is I want to make sure you guys have the right mindset moving forward with how this is going to be. Also, me and Mike, like I told you guys earlier, are going to be putting together a course, and we're setting up what the next blueprint's going to look like for you guys. So I know for some of our newer students, you guys may have never experienced a bull run before. We want to make sure you guys can do this with enough confidence, so next time around you can duplicate what you've done this time in the next one. Now, the market doesn't like to repeat itself, but it definitely rhymes. So we want to give you guys, like I said, enough information so you can make that informed decision and know exactly what you're looking for inside of these movements. Now, what I've been noticing is, and we're on a daily right now, yes, we've broken out. Actually, let me go to this chart here because I got it already marked up. So yes, we've broken out of our area that we had back here. Markets tested the levels, pulled back, broken above, stayed above, giving us some really nice price action above this area of potential supply. So now we're getting a little bit of a retracement, but you'll notice the market doesn't want to clear this area, almost as if it wants to hold here, because now we know this area holds some buyer momentum. If we break lower than this zone, right, if we come back down and we close lower than, what is it, 23,000, we could look to see the market potentially come all the way back down to some levels where maybe 18 and 17 look a lot more attractive than they have in a few weeks. So for me, I'm excited. Some of y'all are like, Kurt, I don't think that's going to happen. I think this thing's going to break out and run. And I want to kind of do a little bit of a common sense play right now with you guys, because we talk about this, always say, first question is, where is that money going to come from? All right. You know, right now, interest rates are going crazy. It's not very attractive to go out and get a loan for any sort of reason. So if we understand that, where is all of this new money that's going to push crypto to all-time highs going to come from? All right. Now, we just talked about Hong Kong unbanning crypto, which is great. I love seeing the Asian markets come back in and participate. They pretty much missed out this whole bull run, which was sad. But now that we see them unbanning it, it's a very good sign for the next bull run. Do I see them coming in and just dumping crazy amounts in right away? Not at all. Not at all. That doesn't make any sense to me to see just randomly a bunch of money flow into crypto from Hong Kong and just carry us back up to new crazy heights. Not so much. All right. So for me, it's all about making it make sense. And as of right now, we know we have Fed news coming up in the next few weeks where we're going to have unemployment numbers coming out. Now, for my newer students, I got to reiterate this because some of you guys may or may not understand how these unemployment numbers really work. When we have unemployment numbers being pushed out, right? Let's see here. I think it's going to be on the 10th. Yeah. So on the 10th of March, we're going to get the heads up for the unemployment numbers. Once we get this unemployment data, essentially we, all right, depending on what you want to see happen here, it needs to be able to make sense to the point where unemployment means if the numbers are low, right? Meaning there's less, there's more people working, right? There's less jobs to go around, right? That tells us one thing. There's a lot of money flowing in the economy because people are working, right? That's a healthy sign for the economy. But the weird part is it's bad for inflation, all right? Because how does this work? Right now, the Fed is raising interest rates to keep people from spending, to keep people from getting loans, to keep people from pretty much going crazy with the money that we have in the supply. They want to lessen the amount of money in the supply. If people are working and unemployment rate is getting lower, that's still putting more money back into the system because people are working more, they're spending more. That's how this stuff goes. People don't work more and save more. It's just, the world we live in right now, right? If a brand new Xbox came out tonight, everybody and their mama is going to be selling the liver and a right toe to go get that bad boy. So it's all about making sure you understand how this plays out. So on the 10th, if the unemployment numbers are lower, right, we have less jobs, that means that they're going to raise interest rates. Okay. If the unemployment numbers come out and unemployment is getting higher, that means we may stay the course. We may only get a 25 basis point rate hike. That's not necessarily going to make any market flinch. They're pretty much going to stay doing what they're doing. We may see Bitcoin look to break out. But if unemployment numbers are low, that may be a sign and Bitcoin may start to dip even further. All right, so that's going to simplify for you. So on the 10th of March, if unemployment numbers are low, yeah, we may see Bitcoin dip because that may be a sign, a precursor to the fact we're going to get an interest rate hike on the 22nd of March when they have the FOMC meeting, when they break down what the new funds Fed rate is going to be. So I really want you guys to just really be mindful of being patient in some of these categories we're talking about, some of these situations we're talking about, because I know for some people, yeah, they get it. They're excited about grabbing their portfolio and getting all this stuff started. But we're going to show you guys how to do this in a way where it's not going to be stressful. Because I know some of y'all hear me and Mike talking and y'all be like, yeah. I don't care what you said, Kurt. I'm about to go buy this coin, that coin, and I'm going to do all the stuff I want to do. And then when it doesn't work out, you come back with the, but why? Because you didn't listen. All right. You're having a hard time. You're stressing out because you went ahead and bought all this stuff and you could have got more if you would have been patient. Says Yoshi says China. Yeah, China. So China wasn't participating at all in the last bull run. All right. This whole run up that we got after COVID, and it just ran all when Bitcoin dropped down to like 3,000 and ran all the way up, or what was it, 4,000? It was like 3,800, basically 4K. Bitcoin came down and touched 4K and ran all the way up to like 67,000, right? 68,000. Yeah, that was all outside of China. China really didn't have any play in that. And you'll notice in the previous bull runs, let me go over here to the BLX chart. These previous bull runs were ridiculous, right? We bounced down at around, $200 and ran all the way to 20K. Like, that's crazy price action, right? The one before that, we came down and touched around $2 and ran all the way up to like almost, 11,000 or 1,100. right? That's outlandish. And don't get me wrong, these numbers aren't bad. There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying everybody was expecting 100K Bitcoin, 200K Bitcoin. If China was participating, more than likely that would have made a lot of sense. And Hong Kong unbanning it isn't a small deal, right? You're looking at Hong Kong and thinking, okay, it's just one city. In China, like Hong Kong is one of the biggest metropolitan cities in the world. Like this place is massive when it comes to population. So there's a lot of money flowing around in Hong Kong. So for them to unban it is a good sign for other provinces as well to do the same thing inside of China. So it is a good thing when you think about it in the greater scheme of things. But for us right now, I'm being honest with you guys. I'm gonna go to this chart and I'm gonna walk you guys through what I said earlier and kind of really hammer this home for some of my newer students, because some of y'all are like, I don't get it yet, but you will in a second. So back here, when Bitcoin had bottomed out, you guys see back in 2016, 2017, Bitcoin had went from 20K all the way down to $3,000. This was probably one of the most lit times to be in crypto. And for everybody else on the outside looking in, they're like, why would I want to, for what? Like, why would I want to buy something that's dropped from 20K to 3K? This thing's going to go to zero. Like, it's a waste of time. But what they didn't understand is how much it cost, right? How much it cost to actually mine one Bitcoin. That was the first catalyst that we found out that was ready to make the market move. We looked up how much it cost to mine one Bitcoin. It was around $3,100 in China, right? Because Chinese electricity is very cheap. When we looked at that, we realized most of the mining that was done for Bitcoin was done where? In the words of Trump, China. So if we understand that China is one of the biggest, mining facility or mining countries for Bitcoin, they don't want it to go below 3,100 because they're going to be losing money. Oh, that makes sense. So now we're looking at this thing thinking, okay, game time. Let's start to really make sense out of this. Guys, we took this chart and all we did was went from low point to the high point here. And I boxed this bad boy up like Chinese takeout. No pun intended. I promise you, I say that all the time without China being a big deal inside of what we do here. So this area here was for buyers. And what do we see? Price came down, tested. Buyers showed up and pum, moved to the upside. Anybody in here got kids? If you got kids, you know what a pum is. You ever seen them run past your door? That's the sound they make in your head when they run past. All right, so same thing here. I went from high point to low point. All right. And what do we get? Boom, boom. 786, 886 zone for potential selling pressure. And sure enough, sellers showed up. And then we eventually broke and ran. Price never came back and retested. So we knew whenever price did come back, we had an imbalance of potential buyer momentum at this level. Price came back right when COVID happened, bounced, ran to the upside. Okay, no big whoop. That's cool. That's awesome. High point to low point here. We got areas like this. We box this up and we got areas like this, right, for selling pressure at these levels, right? So what am I noticing? Price came up to my level, tested, got rejected, tested, got rejected. And sure enough, we hit this level, but what happened? We broke above it, came back, retested, broke above it, came back, retested, and we finally broke out and ran. And then when price came back down to this level, guys, just pay attention. Bounced off the same level that was once for sellers. Now buyers own this area. Bounced off it once, twice, thrice. Fourth time we broke below, held within the zone. And what do we also see? A couple of break belows, pull back, respecting. Break belows, pull back, break below, pull back, respecting. And then we broke out again. If and or when we come back down to these levels, we may not hold. But there's also a zone that's a fresh zone of buying potential, and it's right here. We didn't come back and retest this level. Two major zones that were once for sellers and now have flipped and become zones for buyers in this move up. There's only one more fresh zone, and it's right here between 13 and around 11. This is the area that I think we may end up seeing a retest of inside of where we're at right now. I'm excited for it because I know it gives us an opportunity for a lot of students to come in and get really, really cheap prices at these levels. I just need y'all to understand that I've been here before. Mike's been here before. Nick's been here before. All the educators you guys are seeing on these platforms have been here before. And we want to walk you guys through this in the most duplicatable way possible. Okay? Because everybody's thinking this thing's going to break out and run. And I'm like, dude, we got a lot of time ahead of us. And I want to go to this BLX chart so you can really see what I mean here. Notice the last time we had a move like this. This was way back in 2018, 2019. Okay? Let me get rid of all these fibs over here. I know I'm fib crazy. I want to make sure I'm not confusing anybody new here. All right. Now, what happened? Price went sideways for a good amount of time, guys. Then we finally broke out and ran to the upside. What about previous time? Price went sideways for a good amount of time, guys. And it finally broke out and ran to the upside. Same thing here. Price went sideways for a good amount of time. And it finally broke out, ran to the upside. I'm showing you this because I don't want you guys to get caught up and think, okay, yeah, sure, Kurt, price could have been going sideways this whole time here. We kept making lower lows and lower lows and lower lows. Notice back here, lower lows, 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 lower lows. Same thing back here. I only just use this one this way because obviously this was basically the very beginning when Bitcoin was like at $21 and it came back down and tested $2. All right, so I feel you guys. Everybody's trying to figure out how do we get back to these levels. Just know we're at a level right now where you have to be paying attention to take advantage of it because this is literally the best time to be in crypto. If you're looking to build a portfolio, now's the time you want to do it. All right. Now, I spent a lot of time researching stuff and making sure that everybody has, you know, what they need to be successful. And I look at this dude on the news every week telling us the Ukrainians and the Russians, and we're going to do all these things and we're going to save the world, guys. I'm serious. Listen, 2 words, made in America. And everybody believes them. All right. We sit back, we see Joe Byron. You know Byron. Everybody sees Byron doing his thing. And we get all upset because we feel like he's either going to fall asleep on the mic or he's going to tell us something weird and doesn't make sense. Like, and I don't know where Kamala is. I haven't seen her in a month of Sundays, but I'm simply saying we've all decided to depend on Byron. And now we're sitting here trying to figure out how we're going to work ourselves through this. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. So with that, and after that, some of y'all want your boy back in there. All right. Everybody knows it. You know it as well. All right. So no, honestly though, fam, it's really all boils down to one thing. Patience. Patience in yourself, patience with these markets, patience with your capital. Don't rush into the market. All right. Let's see here. So I've been watching the crypto astrology classes. It says lately between March and July. Yep. Let's see here. Some things that indicate the prices may be dropping during the time, particularly around April 20th. Because what are your thoughts on that discussion with Korean? No, I honestly believe there is something to it with this astrology and the market, because I know it is coded into human nature with certain times of the year and all kind of wild things that happen with astrology. But I do believe there is something that may push us down. I don't know when, but I do feel like it's probably going to be some Fed news, whether it be on the 22nd, right? I don't know when we're going to have our next one after that. I have to go look at their other website. But I do know, like right now, guys, like this is not the time to be rushing into anything. I think we're going to get way better prices on a ton of assets. I personally can't wait to get a potentially $700 Ethereum. That would be lit like a Christmas tree. So for me, it makes sense to just be patient. And honestly, if we do break out, I don't think it's sustainable. I honestly don't think it's sustainable. I think this is really one of those scenarios where it really just depends on how smart are you and how coachable are you, right? Because some people want to feel like, oh, I'm so smart, I got it all figured out, I don't need to listen to anybody, I'm going to do it my way and I'm going to just find my way through. And then some people are coachable and they say, well, these people have been here before, they have the results that I want, let me follow the blueprint so I can start duplicating that. And when you're coachable, you can take it back to your family, right? You can share it with your loved ones, you can share it with your children. When you're trying to come out here and do it on your own and carve your own, path, you can, but you got a lot of learning curve to deal with. You got a whole lot of ups and downs. You got to scrape your knee a couple times when you can just blow the doors off your learning curve and be coachable. And I know some of you guys are going to be coachable. Some of you guys aren't. I'm cool with that, but I just want to make sure you guys have the right expectations, because sometimes too, you think you got to have a lot of money when you start this, and you don't. This isn't one of those things where it requires you to come in and be, a thousandaire. Like I had students come in with a couple bucks, like $50, $100, right? A few $100, and they had massive success. But it just comes down to you doing the work, right? Nothing works unless you do. So inside of these levels, guys, this is some of the best time. As I showed you guys, every time I show you one of these charts, every time we get to these gray areas, it's literally the best time in crypto because we don't get a retest. Only time we got a retest was this, and this was honestly a black swan event. Nobody saw COVID doing this to a market. This was unheard of. Now, we were in a much more advantageous position because we knew that area was once a zone of potential demand. You see over here, potential demand or supply that turned into demand. And here we go. Once was area supply, buyers took over that zone, never came back to retest it. As soon as we came back and tested that area, it was like Lion King and never returned again, right? So for me, it kicks in a way where you see this happen, expect to see the market kind of repeat itself. This is why I keep saying we have these breakout zones. We've come back and retested these already, right? We spent a good amount of time here, retested off, bounced higher. I think we got one more dip in this, guys. One more dip. I think this last dip may be the one that kind of just has us scrape those lows. We start kind of settling out, and then we take off to the upside after that. That's what I'm seeing so far. This area here was once for what? Sellers. It's just a much more pronounced zone for selling pressure. And after we broke above, clean break, no retest, this thing is screaming for entry points back here. I mean, it's literally loaded to the brim with buy orders at these levels right here. And I mean, I just showed you guys earlier, you got people like Gary Gensler going out and saying everything in crypto is a security. This dude is the head of the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission for governing all kind of securities in the United States. He's the head of that. And he can't even watch his tone enough to say something that makes more logical sense. You're literally putting out a statement that could like implode an entire asset class. And you say that out loud at an interview, right? That's like working for the FDA and saying all meat is poison, right? And expecting that to just go over well when you get back to work the next day. Like, nah, my dog, they're gonna pull you in the back for this one. Like, you're gonna have to answer to somebody. Like that's literally the equivalent of what he did today or yesterday. So I don't think we're gonna see anything that's gonna be simplistic. I think they want to call all cars to just push this thing down. We've seen the Terra Luna situation drop crypto further. We've seen the FTX situation drop crypto lower. Have you picked up on the signs? It's not that Bitcoin's broken. It's not that Ethereum's broken. It's not that anything's wrong with blockchain technology. We keep having human intervention push the price down. Almost as if it's highly manipulated. So we just need to wait for the next narrative to play out and find our buy zones after they're done scaring the heebie-jeebies out of all the dumb money. Because you guys are smart money. Ta-da! These aren't spirit fingers. These. So I'm saying, so you get to a place where it starts to make more sense, and now you're good. You're winning at a high rate, and everything lines up, and it's a duplicatable scenario. All right, because Gary needs DCX. I'm not gonna lie, if he gets a subscription, I kick it with Gary Gensler for sure. He can come in and hang out. I know Elon Musk got a subscription for sure. There were days I would say stuff, and he would tweet right after the session was over with, and I'd be like, so you just not gonna say you in here watching me teach the class? Okay, Elon. Okay. Just put my Tesla outside. You know, I'll give it away to somebody who wants one. Whatever. It's not a big deal. I mean, I have my Jeep. I know people who like Teslas for whatever reasons. And yeah, it'll be a thing. All right. Let's see here. Don't be LOLing me. All right. Says he went to play principal. Now he was hanging out with the worst student. Facts. Like Gary Gensler was literally having meeting after meeting with Sam Bankman-Fried, and he was literally hanging out with the guy who ran FTX. This exchange took billions of dollars from people. He was hanging out with the CEO day. Not every day, day. He ain't see nothing wrong. These dudes was using QuickBooks to do their taxes on $1 billion exchange. And this dude didn't smell nothing wrong. He was like, yeah, man, let's go get some coffee tomorrow. Like, bruh. And you still got your job. And then you go on the interview and say that craziness and you still got a job. Man, look, I'm just not, listen. I know folks who lose their job for way less. All right. So I'm just telling you guys, like, understand the narrative that we're seeing right now. It really is a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I just don't want you guys to keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe thinking, you know, crypto is gonna implode on itself. This bad boy is here to stay. All right. And most of these big money movers don't want to get in at the prices that we saw, back in, 2022. They're trying to get this bad boy in 2019, 2018 prices if they could. So seeing the levels that we're at right now, what does this tell me now? This also tells me that altcoins are getting in a position to potentially be on sale. So now I want you guys to start paying attention to Swipecoin. I want you guys to start paying attention to the Scalper. I want you guys to start paying attention to AltFi, because now we're going to have an opportunity to ride these down on MT4. Right. I'm also working on some stuff as well with this Gains network, this Gains.trade. I want to start doing setups with you guys, because this is decentralized. So it's not like you're leaving your coins on a exchange or something crazy, and allows us to take some positions for buys and sales on a ton of different assets. So for me, this is a win-win, because now we can trade futures, getting out of the market. I want to see what the spreads are looking like as well. But for me, this is looking lit. I mean, like, this like 0.04 spread, like, bruh, you can't beat that with a stick. All right. So for me, that just clicks. I want to make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing here too, because when we're using MT4, man, like, they will gouge you. Y'all know how bad them spreads are. Like, you got to dang near go like 100 pips in profit just to have it turn blue. So yeah, we want to make sure you guys can get the more bang for your buck. Also, making sure we can give you guys more frequent setups, because right now MT4 is limited what we can do. And this, for me, just makes sense. It's decentralized. You guys have those private keys and those seed phrases to where your coins are being stored. There's no affiliate links, so everybody's going to have an opportunity to just utilize it and win. It's just a win-win. It's just a win-win. It just makes a lot of sense. And it also even has Forex pairs on here. So if you guys want to get a little saucy and trade your Forex on here, feel free. It's your time. Do what you do. All right. But yeah, this makes just a ton. Y'all keep typing this HFDCX. It's not that. All right. Y'all not about to keep trying to slide that in here. I'm not even going to claim that. This is bigger, better. All right. Let's see. Here's his facts. MT4. Man, dude, trust me, man, though. I am with you on it all day, every day. That MT4 is the gift and the curse at the same time. Now, there's also a project that I want to bring to you guys' attention. Let me see here. Is this it? I don't think it's even on CoinGecko, but I want to bring it up for you guys real quick. If it is, we'll see. Is it? Nah, not yet. It's not. I'll just bring it over then. So I showed you guys this last time, a couple weeks ago. This is a 0 layer. Please do me a favor and write this project down. It's not even on CoinGecko yet, and I want y'all to do research on this, because some people are going to feel like, Kurt, you just sprung all these projects on us and we didn't get opportunity to do any research, and I feel some type of way about it, and I got little hands and I couldn't write that fast. Well, listen, I showed you what it was, and all you got to do is make a decision about coming in and just doing the work. Right? It's not a big deal about you guys coming in and getting it all done right away. It's just being patient with yourself so you can do the work and get it done. All right. I know everybody learns at different times, different paces. All right. Some of y'all probably did that thing in your hand like, my other hand isn't strong enough. All right. So 0 layer. I gave you guys this one as well to do research on. This one's actually in testnet right now. And I really want you guys to keep an eye out on Sui. Sui is in testnet. It's got a lot of eyes on it. A bunch of people are talking about it. I'm in a lot of different, WhatsApp chats and Telegrams. And this project pops up like often, like very often. So definitely keep an eye out on this one. Now, this one's already out. This next one I'm about to show you is Seedify. If you have not heard of this, this is like crazy when it comes to launch pads. Now, Seedify has been getting a ton of attention, a ton of people utilizing it. Like, so launch pads are basically platforms that allow you to come in and start launching certain projects, right? So this also launches like, Web3 games, all types of different like DEXs and all that kind of stuff. But I've been seeing a ton of people come in and utilize Seedify, and their projects just boom after. So yeah, I want to make sure you guys are understanding, like, this here is something to keep an eye out on. We're gonna do more, classes, and I'm gonna explain more on launch pads for you guys. Some of the early launch pads were like, was it Badger.io? There was another one with these ducks. I can't think of it, but it was a whole thing. It launched a bunch of great projects, and Seedify right now has become one of the most popular ones. So definitely keep this one on your radar. I told y'all I'm gonna keep dropping like little nuggets for you guys along the way, so that way you guys can kind of keep up with me when I do release the list. It'll be a little more of a, okay, I kind of remember Kurt brought that up, so I'm doing some research. And then when I give you guys competitors to certain projects on the list, you'll kind of have a better opportunity and a better, time navigating it because you've done some of the work already. You want to be blindsided trying to figure this stuff out on your own and then cussing me and Mike out because you feel like I just kind of, spilled everything on you one time. Like, here you go have fun with that. And you're sitting there at home, trying to figure stuff out on your own for 3 days. All right, let me see here. Now, this one as well, I've shown you guys, but some people may have missed it. This is NFT Perp. This one here allows you to long and short NFTs. I think this, and this especially, is going to be a big deal in NFTs because we know NFTs are very speculative and a lot of them run off of hype. So if we know we can short them, this could be a crazy, crazy upside for a lot of people that may not even believe in the NFT space, but it gives you an opportunity to take a position on what you think may happen inside of NFTs, right? So really, really powerful stuff. Obviously built on Arbitrum, so keep an eye in your and keep that bonnet in your hat because I want you guys to realize who Arbitrum is going to be a big deal. When they launch their coin and do their airdrop, some of you guys may get in on the airdrop, some of you guys may not. This is a project that will definitely be on our list once it fully launches. I think Arbitrum is going to be a massive deal for Ethereum moving forward, considering once we get that new update on the third quarter of this year. And then this one here is Celestia. I gave this to you guys on a watch list as well. I'm going to keep showing you guys because some people have missed the classes. They never got a chance to come in. Yep, Celestia as well. All right. And then this one here, me and Mike talked about this, SingularityNet. This is one of the top AI projects right now in crypto. If anybody's been paying attention to ChatGPT, I need you guys to understand something about ChatGPT. It is literally probably one of the most influential technologies we're going to get for the next like 5 to 10 years. And I say that because if you work a job where it requires you to do a lot of typing or writing things, or even if you're like a coder, right? Like ChatGPT can do all of that by you just asking. All right. If you write emails all day long, ChatGPT can do your job for you. All right. So take advantage of it before they let you go and let the robot do it. Right. Get a free check, I guess. I don't know. However guys, decide to get a free check, you got to be creative how you get these checks. Some of them are free. Some of them are a little more, you got to do some work. All right. But if you want to get a free check, that may be a way to go about it on that one. All right. Now, for me, I feel like AI right now is in its early stages. And I also want you guys to think about it in the sense of this is a time to start doing the right kind of research and allowing you to come in and say, okay, if I've done the research on these projects and I start seeing partnerships come in and I start seeing people, benefit from what's going on here, think about the use case. If they're building out an AI, right? And we already seen Microsoft's willing to pay, I don't know how many billion for a ChatGPT service because they want to integrate it with Bing so they can start taking out Google. This is a scenario where we may see things like Brave browser lean into other AI services and look to benefit them and become a much more, supplanted browser as opposed to just some crypto thing that only enthusiasts use to get a couple of free coins through AdShare. Like this could be the next wave that makes people millionaires, billionaires, if not some of the world's first trillionaires. And I know AI is one of those things where it's scary because people don't understand it fully, but either you're going to be on the right side of it or you're going to be on the wrong side of it. And I don't want you guys, kind of teeter-tottering back and forth on the fence because obviously it hurts on the fence. I'd rather you guys make a decision and just learn about it so you can be informed moving forward and just benefit from it rather than sit around and kind of just gripe and complain because ain't nobody getting paid from complaining. I'm just being honest. Unless you're, Stephen A. or you're Skip Bayless. All right. So from there's plenty of other, AI projects to look into. Another thing too, when you guys are looking into, getting into certain coins, right? And let's just do this, right? I'm on the second page, I think. No, I'm not on the second page. I'm gonna go to the second page real quick. And I want to kind of just kick it with you guys for a second. When you guys are doing your research, right? And you see we got stuff like 1inch, Convex, basic attention token, loop ring, DYDX, render. Bruh. Render's a big deal. Flare, right? Let's see. Helium, Cello, right? Ravencoin, Kava. Kava's a big deal too. When you guys see projects like this, like just know a lot of these coins are going to see fluctuations. They're going to see ups and downs, but you have to make a decision about what you want your portfolio to look like in the future. I know Energy Web Token is probably one of the most slept on projects inside of crypto, inside of the top 200, and Warren Buffett invests in this coin. I've done a whole class on it. I broke it down to you. He's not directly buying it, but his subsidiaries are. Okay. So if you understand what was happening, it's basically in the hood, they call it the underlay for the overlay. All right. Like, I don't know if y'all know what that is or what that's about, but that's the whole thing where it may not be in front of you, but it's happening in a way where it's noticeable. All right. And it's a lot of things right now with this kind of stuff going on that I want you guys to be mindful of as well, because we know inside of crypto, the only time we see the charts move is if something's being bought on an exchange, right? There's something called OTC. See if you guys even know about this. All right, I talked about this a little bit the other day. All right. OTC simply just stands for over the counter. All right. And a lot of times in crypto, over the counter means they went directly to the miners and they bought it, right? So over the counter trading, or OTC trading, is a framework of financial technology that enables trading markets outside a regular exchange. Specifically within the crypto and Bitcoin market, it's a private trading market from buying or selling crypto. It means that you're going right to the miners. You're going straight to the source. You're buying it from them. It does not show up because it was not done on an exchange. Oh, snap. Exactly. Now, in your mind, right, because everybody here is intelligent, how much Bitcoin do you think has really left from the miners and went directly into the hands of big money movers? A good amount of Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the part where I need you guys to really be mindful of. You're dealing with a lot of things that look really one-sided on the media side of things, but in the real world, there are billionaires, millionaires that are literally loading up on crypto every single day, and you will never get to see it on the news. You never get to see it in the blockchain, because that money is moving fast and it just loads up in wallets and it sits there, and they're not going to miss it because they're buying it up cheap. Right. So I need you to really understand, when we see stuff moving off exchanges, usually that's where people go to pay a premium, because they know the miners stop selling after so long because it's not profitable for them to keep selling OTC, and they have to go to the exchanges. Exchanges are literally like the last line of defense when it comes to seeing the market break out. But here's the kicker. If they're buying OTC, they're not selling OTC. Big money movers that buy at OTC, they go right on the exchange and they dump it. Why would they do that? To push the price lower. They buy in the shadows, they sell in the light. This is why the market drops so fast and then sometimes takes so long to come up. All right. Like, when you understand the narrative of what we're dealing with and how this stuff plays out, it puts you in a very different mindset of how we should be approaching it, and stop getting so caught up in the fact of, oh man, I feel like we're gonna, and I feel like, listen, the world already decided. Cryptos, if they didn't want it, it would have been banned, guys. Like, you understand that. Like, if America didn't want crypto, they would have banned it years ago. Years ago. There would be no talk of CBDCs or none of that stuff. So we know they have a plan for it. It's our job to make sure we don't get caught on the wrong side of the plan. Because back in the 1930s, when the stock market crashed and the Great Depression took hold, a lot of people didn't understand how to navigate and put their money somewhere where it was going to grow with all the wealthy people, with all the banks, all the private investors. This is the reset. We may see a 1930s happen in 2030, right? But they're setting up the framework and the plumbing right now. And I want you guys to build your capital up, so as we get closer and closer to those times, you'll be able to make a very strong, informed decision about what you're going to do and what your money's going to look like in the next 5, 10, 15 years, right? Because some people come in and they're like, man, I wish I'd have known this in, 2023, 2024. And all of a sudden 2030 hits, because it's coming whether you like it or not. And we see something catastrophic happen to the economy. And now you have an opportunity to benefit from it because you actually have capital aside to do something with, as opposed to living from check to check. All right. Like, the vision needs to be set up now. So when the money starts to move, when the world fully adopts it, you've been here so long accumulating that it's just business as usual for you. When the person on the outside saying, can you spell wallet? And you're like, bruh, like, where have you been for the last, decade? We've been over here stacking up, getting all this stuff done, setting up the emails, setting up the hot wallet, setting up the cold storage, setting up everything we can do with our private keys and seed phrases, right? Getting everything aligned. So when this thing finally took off, we were ready to make that move. All right. But OTC was one of the things that really woke me up, because I thought to myself, if big money movers are buying this stuff behind the curtain and they're selling in front of everybody, they're going to keep manipulating. This is the one way they get to manipulate. Because have you thought about it? Like, and I want you to really just hear me out when I say this to you guys. Who in their right mind was selling right here? Like really think about this with me for 2 seconds, right? Bitcoin has just dropped from around almost $70,000 and consolidated down here at these levels around 18, back and forth between 18 and 25, 18, 24. And all of a sudden we seen a crazy sell-off all the way down to these levels. And people kept, getting here, selling off again. Who's selling off at these levels, right? Like, doesn't that just seem a little convenient to just have all that Bitcoin right now and say, you know what, now's the time for me to dump it all? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. And then people say, oh, that was FTX. They've already proved FTX didn't even have any real Bitcoin. All their Bitcoin was fake, right? They're on the hook for Bitcoin that they never even owned. They were giving people paper Bitcoin. Nothing about that was, oh yeah, we got you guys' back. It was literally all smoke and mirrors. So now we know that wasn't legitimate because they had no Bitcoin to actually sell. This is why I tell you guys, I laugh when I see it because I know it's manipulation. I know it's a game being played and I just don't want to play the game. All right. I want to see who's coming in and pushing this money down, who's bringing this money back in. Nobody could explain to me how all this Bitcoin just showed up out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure the same people who sold right here bought it all back right here. Right? Pushed it up to these levels, and then the rest of the market did the rest of the work. Right? Created the initial move, and the rest of the market came in. Because mind you, it pushed down, pushed up and froze for a moment, and the rest of the market pushed it up again. Maybe they took a little bit of profit, pushed it up one more time. This is what it looks like. This is the name of the game we're playing. High manipulation in small spaces. All right, guys. I want you guys to really start evolving with the way you see the markets and not being so caught up in just coin. It's like the birds on Finding Nemo. Mine. Like, I don't want you doing that. I want you being more calculated and more tactical about how we do this. All right. I keep telling you guys, like, there's no SEAL Team 6. There's no rescue team coming to save you. All right. You are the first and last line of defense for your legacy. If you're not going to do it, ain't nobody about to come in and do it. And you can play small if you want to. You can play it safe if you want to. The last time I checked, nobody's last name was hung up on the rafters by playing it safe. Nobody got their picture over the fireplace by playing it safe. Right? Chances make champions. And I want you guys to understand you can make calculated choices inside of these areas and take the chance where you have a high ratio of success. That's my whole spiel. Anytime we're taking risk, we're doing it in an area where we have a high ratio of success. All right. Says Kurt, but if they buy OTC, technically the large impulse is up from the start of smart money, right? No, if they buy OTC, they're buying it directly from the miners. That does not show up on anybody's chart. Listen, I'll give you guys an example. I'm gonna see if I can find this article. Oh man. I don't know if it was 5,000 or 3,000. Here we go. Let me see something. Where is October at? October the 8th. All right. October the 8th, right here. I'm going to bring this over here for you so you can see it for yourself. All right. Actually, no. We're going to go back. It's mid-September. So somewhere after the 15th. Sorry about that. All right. Right here, mid-September. So let's bring this over. Mysterious Bitcoin whale allocated almost 5,000 BTC since mid-September 2022. The article came out October, but this has been happening since mid-September. Okay, wait, mid-September. Where is all of that Bitcoin? That's a lot of Bitcoin being bought up. It didn't do nothing, right? Nothing. And an article came out October the 8th. So from this to this, Where was all of that bit? Like, where is that reflecting? Are you seeing what I'm saying? Like, where was he went OTC to get his Bitcoin, right? They saw they saw a wallet show up. My bad. Where is that article? They saw a wallet show up with 5,000 Bitcoin in it, right? And all of a sudden, everybody was excited. Everybody was amped up. Let's bag that up again. All right. Everybody was so excited and amped up about something. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, so where did all that money come from? Like, nobody's going to talk about that at all. All right. Go back. All right. Yeah. So when I see stuff like that, guys, like, I want you guys to be mindful of how this stuff works and how this stuff plays out and the people that's coming in and how all this manipulation and all that stuff happens, because it looks good and then it doesn't. And I want you guys to be mindful of like this kind of stuff when you see it, because if I'm thinking 5,000 BTCs being bought up within a couple of weeks, that should at least show up on the chart. Elon Musk came in and bought like a couple, like 100 Bitcoin, and people were going crazy over it, right? OTC doesn't show up. It just doesn't show up, guys. All right. So I know I went through kind of a lot of stuff real quick, but just for the most part, guys, like I'm gonna end it with this. When we have opportunities to take advantage of what's going on in the market, it really boils down to saving your capital for the right moment. And when we drop setups, that's when we tell you guys now's the right moment, right? Everything you've seen Mike drop for you guys, everything you've seen put on the Swipecoin app, everything you've seen pop up on, all these different services we have, guys, like we're doing the work to let you know now is the time you want to take advantage of it. Now is the time you want to take advantage of it, right? It literally just boils down to saying, hey, I got a little bit of capital here. I'm going to put it there. Now, when it's time to go all in, we'll have that conversation. I promise you. Like, it's not like we're trying not to have you do it. It's just making sure that you guys are understanding the thought process of how to navigate it. It's more than just blindly copying and pasting. I get it. We give you guys some ideas. You put it into your phone. You put it into the apps. You knock it out. Cool. But it's about, okay, what are we doing? Why did they do that? What did they see to go do that? What was the thing that they noticed that I didn't notice that made them do that, right? Or why, when the market jumps, why aren't they getting excited right now, right? If Twitter's excited, Instagram's excited, Facebook's excited, why isn't Mike and Kurt excited right now? Like, what's going on? Why they're just so like, I'm all right, right? Because it's got to be something, right? Like there's sometimes I will get amped up, and there's other times I'm like, yeah, not so much. But I know there's a season to this, and we're just not in that season. Like if it's freezing snow outside, I'm not going outside to go swimming. It's not the season for that. If it's freezing snow outside, I'm not going outside to go dig up the plants. It's not harvest season right now. That's not what that's for, right? But people are saying, oh man, it's time to go swimming, y'all. The sun came out. Bro, it's like December, like late December. I'm not jumping in nobody's pool, but the sun's out. We got to go swimming. Like, no, bro. As my mom would say, you're going to catch the death of pneumonia. You know what I'm talking about. So this really just boils down to having the right mentality and the right seasons, knowing when it's time to shift gears and when it's time to just stay the course. Don't deviate. Don't let them pump fake you into thinking it's this when it's really not. Like, be smart. Be a free thinker, family. Like, don't let the seasons, shift around in your head when really we're still where we are. Nothing has changed. We're still in the bear market. None of this is fully done. I think we're in that consolidation phase now, like getting to it, like we're starting to form it. But yeah, I think we got maybe one more pullback, and then we'll get the answers we need from this next pullback for sure. I think this next pullback is going to give us everything we need to know, and we'll be able to just do very, very precise setups moving forward after this. Like I'm talking about like surgical. That's all I'm looking for is to get some data, and I can make that informed decision with you guys moving forward. See here, this global warming changes everything. Hey, I'm still not going swimming in December in Michigan. It ain't happening. All right. But I appreciate you guys hopping on with me. Tomorrow you got Mike hanging out with you guys. Then we got the round table. Y'all know I usually don't jump on. I got a lot of stuff I got to do on Tuesdays, but we'll see what we can do. Try to squeeze it in. But as usual, family, you know how much I appreciate you guys as always coming in, hanging out with me, bringing value. I am literally starving. I got food downstairs. I'm about to get something to eat right now. All right, guys. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. And as usual, and as always, y'all know how we do this, guys. All right. Stay patient